r/felons. Zixrees says. Unpopular opinion. Felons are the most discriminated group of individuals. Slonovichen 1973 says. I got 2 felonies, something I'm not proud of at all. But now I can't find a decent job because of it. It feels like I'm getting punished again for some stupid stuff I got into. Pissingin1nd says. Not that unpopular emo lol, we get the shit end of the stick Alet. Princess Reader says. True, but I never forget I did this to myself. It's not like people discriminate towards me because of something I had no say so in. Plus, I try harder just to show them even a felon has some good points. Slade 797 says. Not a felon myself, and the way I look at it is simple. If you loan me $20 and I pay you back, do you keep coming back and dunning me for more? Of course not, so why does society do it to felons? If a person has paid his or her debt to society, as we like say, then why does that person have to continue to pay after they are released? Let's follow more enlightened countries and use prison time for actual life skills and educational improvement, so the person doesn't just have to go back to the same shit that lead them to prison to start with. Malfunction 5 says. I can't think of any American citizens that are legally allowed to be discriminated against like felons. Deny jobs, residence, etc. How am I supposed to do anything if you are stacking the deck even further against me? What happened to having paid my debt to society? Yeah, we are all square, but we are gonna keep, yeah for the rest of your life. I don't like that they say the most important thing is supposedly being law-abiding and productive, then they make it legal to discriminate just on the basis of being a felon. Yes, if you stole a bank might say no, and that's reasonable to me. But for Costco not to hire me to stock shelves just because I have drug possessions is stupid. I'm in an adult state, so they can fire me for no reason, and they drug tested me, was fine. Run me through the whole process and shake my hand, says you have the job, only to call me a day before I start and say they changed their mind. Don't I'm waste my time. They cold just asked, their application never asked about records and neither did they. Instead they let me think I was about to start for 2 weeks. Also, the states took my license, and I have to get SR22 for 3 years to get it back. No DUI, no accident, no trafficking charge. I was insured and had a license at the time. r/felons. Cautious Potential 647 says. How do you all find places to live? My husband has 4 felonies and it's been impossible for us to find anywhere to live. Even private landlords I talk to will not accept us, plus we both have bad credit. We pay our rent on time, but where we live now is not in the best condition and we recently had a flood and the landlord will not replace the carpet even though mold is a concern. On top of him being a felon, he is technically a sex offender, not a level 3. He was 17 and got involved with a 15-year-old and got charged as an adult for it. So he isn't a pedophile. And before anyone says he's lying to me, I have read all the transcripts from his court hearing for that case, and he is telling the truth about everything. I feel at this point buying a house will be our only hope, but it's going to take a long time for me fix my credit enough to be able to buy one. Donwin23 says. I have someone else rent the house or apartment and I just pay the bills. Nowhere will let a felon live in a rental house. I've tried everywhere in my area and my charges are for burglary of an unoccupied dwelling. Unfortunately in our society you don't get a second chance, even after serving your time. Scandisef says. Pretty sure the bad credit score is the main reason for your bad luck with finding a place to live. Future Presence 3385 says. You can find insanely dangerous places that don't care about that kind of stuff and will accept anyone, even with a felony or no income. I know because I used to live in a place like that during the recession. I found it on Craigslist. People from all over the country that have nowhere else to go move there. Lots of gangs, drugs, violence, etc. Also, a 17-year-old cannot get in trouble for sleeping with a 15-year-old in most states. Age of consent is 16, but there is a 4-year rule, at least where I live. Everywhere is different though. You can also buy a house with poor credit if you do seller/earner financing. I bought a house for $40,000 in 2015 with seller financing and didn't have good credit at all. Please look into this. Cool Silly Cheap says, look into Urban League. They will help you with credit repair and how to buy a house. They don't charge you any fee. There is also FHA loan. Easiest fix is to buy a house. Larger city, older house needing repair. So price isn't crazy high. You got this, good luck. Donald Bucknaum says, I've never been able to live in an apartment complex or through a real estate company. Always had to find alternatives. That being said, it was usually on the edge of the hood, albeit a good enough place. It sucks, but look for people that have a small number of rentals that may not do background checks. I've been doing it so long it seems like second nature, but I have 3 felonies, 2 drug related, and a stolen vehicle like 30 years ago. r/felons. Depressed Ginger 52 says, help me figure life out. Hello, so this will be long and a in-depth post. Really need some help. So I'm a 27-year-old male who is married, a father, and own my own home. I currently work in a retail store making $17 an hour, and just like everyone, that is not enough at all. I'm going on 8 years of sales and customer service experience and 3 years of leadership and training experience. When I was 18, I was charged with a felony as I had sexual relations with someone who was 17 when I was 18. So yes, I'm a registered sex offender and a felon. I know it's bad. I regret every part of that whole situation. I spent 1 year in jail and had 4 years of probation. I was 24 when I completed probation, and I'm currently 27 as listed above. I have not had any more issues with the law and have no issues passing a drug test, as I have never done drugs. Over the last year I have applied to hundreds of jobs that I'm more than qualified for and have been offered a job 5 times to then have my job offer rescinded after the background check. The roles have been customer service rep, account manager, and company buyer. All I have been qualified for. So after having that happen, I have given up at going for an office style job despite my overqualifications. So I recently signed on with my local steam fitters union and have reached out to all the contractors in my area, yet they are all on a hiring freeze. I reached out to the local electricians union and they said that all their contractors are not hiring at this time either. And lastly, I went and talked to a trucking company about earning my CDL and working with them. Problem is that I'm legally blind in one eye, and so I won't pass the vision test to get my CDL according to the company I talked to. I'm getting desperate because my wife and I are currently paycheck to paycheck and are struggling bad. So much so that we are considering selling our house and moving in with my parents. But we really don't want to do that, so please help. I feel as if I'm screwed and don't know what to do. Any advice would. Timely Midnight 840 says, first off, being a homeowner at your age and background is commendable to say the least. My first advice would be, whatever you do, make selling your home an absolute last resort. People twice your age and no problem background aren't able to find a way to own their own home. Although paycheck to paycheck is not anybody's ideal lifestyle, the alternative is much worse. I hope bringing your story forward opens up the opportunity to make life a little bit easier for you. Candy Expensive 9062 says, you got jammed up for a 1 year age difference. Where the hell do you live? Have you tried getting your case expunged? It's crazy that you can work in a store while being a registered sex offender. Conscious Court 2793 says, And this is why criminal reform is so very necessary in the US. There are over 20 million criminally justice affected persons in the U.S. that are in similar situations as you described, that are highly skilled, educated, and experienced. And the U.S. wonders why there are so many unemployed Americans, and why there are so many constraints on public resources. It's unfortunate that states turn a blind eye towards these applicants who paid their debt to society and then afforded no opportunities. There is no positive re-entry programs out there. My information to you is to open your own business. Sales, management, consulting and applications seem to be a good route to check out opportunities. Check out electrician and construction internship programs. Check out car sales opportunities. I heard US bank hires also. Good luck. Spark77 says, the fact that you got a felony for that is absolute BS. The judge needs to be dick punched. Backstretch says, I recommend you consider the trades. You can be a felon of the past and move towards creating a life for yourself. Most trades are willing to train in the industrial and commercial. Unfortunately, you'll be restricted from residential work for obvious reasons. Normal Wealth 8297 says, try the trades. I'm at a time started apprenticeship, while on paper $18/HR to start raise every 6 months, and now I'm over 100k/year salary doing safety. Don't give up and don't let anyone drag you down. Change your friends up, and remember, you hang around 5 felons, if he the 6th hang around 5 millionaires, you'll be the 6th. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.